Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're looking at one of the biggest DC anime movies to date, The League of Superpets.
Not to be confused with the graphic novel version.
Yes.
Now, this movie takes an entirely different showing of the original comic.
Yeah, you know, ahead of time.
As Krypto must team up with a pack of pet store animals to save Superman and the world from a villainous guinea pig.
Yep, not a hamster. So before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, click the notification button on future podcasts and Little Paws videos.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you so much for your support, tuning in, watching. We really appreciate you so much.
Yes. So we heard about this movie coming for a long time. It ended up getting pushed up a little bit because of other films coming out and the pandemic happening. But it finally released in 2022, and we were a little hesitant on it, but it turned out not to be a bad film. It was not the best movie, in our opinion, but it was fun. It was pretty well written. They had a couple good jokes in there, and the animation was phenomenal.
And the best part of the movie was the fight scene that appears almost at the end. That was the best part. It was lengthy, maybe about 10 minutes, but that right there was the best part of the film. It had you engaged and watching on the edge of your seat, excited about everything you were seeing. The characters had good lines. The writing was well done. The voice acting was superb. That was the best part of this movie.
Right. And when we started the film, and actually I heard about it, we saw the cast in there. And aside from Krypto and another version of Ace, because it's not Ace the Bat Hound, really, they had decided to just do all new animals. They were original. The only one that really wasn't was the turtle, who was like back from the Silver Age of comics, and you barely saw him, and they just rebooted into a female elderly turtle, and was like, so far back you probably wouldn't know unless you have an extensive knowledge of DC.
Who was a pervert?
Yeah. Ironically, I'm like, okay, but they have Krypto still be Superman's dog. Ace was a completely different backstory. They just made a new Ace to fit Kevin Hart, and he was not a serious dog like Batman. He was comedic relief, who thought he was serious because he had a hardened puppyhood like Batman, so I think that was meant to be the joke. You had PB, who's a pig who looked up to Wonder Woman, which is a bit ironic when you hear that. You had the turtle, as I mentioned, who was legally blind, and it was a pervert. And you had the squirrel, who was scared of everything. It's like, that's an odd way to go, but I guess they didn't want any traditional pets, I guess. There's dogs and cats and stuff. They went with animals you don't really see a lot as pets in there, or I guess.
And not only were they different, but also the characters themselves. There was a different Superman, a different Batman, a different Lex Luthor. Everything was different in this movie.
Right.
I think it should have been marketed as a different take on a well-known franchise.
Right.
That's where it should have been marketed. And I think, that being said, you could have gone into it watching it with a different attitude. Okay, we're going to see them do a different AU.
Right. Like with Joker.
Exactly. But they didn't do that. And they made it seem like it was going to be the same characters that you know and love, but they aren't.
Right. And another thing that also got my attention when we were watching, especially when we had a free preview before watching it, is that this is advertised as a family film because of the cute pets, and it's a comedy, and they got some potty humor for the kids and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's a family film, go take your kids to see it. But here's the strange thing about it. Now, to give some leeway, Dwayne Johnson was in charge of this project. He got to voice Krypto. He got to help mostly write and produce it. He hired his friends like Kevin Hart to do voice of Ace, and the the other characters in there. It was sort of like an Adam Sandler movie where he hired his relatives or his friends to be part of the movie. And when you watch the movie, it doesn't feel like a kid's movie. The dogs all act like they're regular adults, which could have played into dogs think they're human, but they know they're not human, they just act human.
Right.
They're kind of jaded about everything because they're pets. They don't like when their owners get married because they don't pay attention to them anymore, or they say they're going to get rid of them, but it hasn't happened yet, so I don't know where it came from. And also weird thing here is that there are no kids in this movie. None of the pets go to kids. All the pets go to the superheroes, or they're already owned by adults. They never mention kids. They don't talk about kids. You see that Superman had Krypto since he was a baby, which was fine and actually a cute part of the film.
Yes, definitely.
And you saw Ace had a family, but due to misunderstanding, they immediately sold him off not too long after getting him.
It reminded me of the live-action version of Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, and then they said that in the film that they will be owned by a middle-aged person. And we have a problem with middle-aged people having pets, but the way the movie has stated, kids don't want pets like Ace and Krypto and the pig and the squirrel because they were adult animals. Yeah. They want puppies, they want kitties, they want baby animals because they can grow up with them. They don't want grown animals. Only grown-ups can have grown animals, and kids can have baby animals as pets. And it was very odd, and it felt kind of, in a way, a little bit of an insult. Now, I'm pretty sure not everyone really took that to heart, but the ones that watched it with their pets, or had pets their whole lives, that kind of comes off as an insult because you're watching it with your pet. Lots of people have done with their dog or cat or whatever, and you tell your kids, you're not going to get an adult animal. Even if they like adult animals, you're going to have to get a little one because no one wants the grown animals. And it's kind of feels a little off, and I don't know if that's just how the writer or Dwayne Johnson feels about the animals, or they're playing into something, because we have never seen this before depicted in a movie.
Right.
We've never seen or heard anyone say kids don't want animals that are already grown. They just want a pet, and they love that pet no matter what. So that's the only thing that was a problem for me, because it didn't fit with the advertisement of this is a family film, kids should see it, but kids don't want to have a pet that's older, and that threw me off for part of the film.
I agree. Now, the voice actress for the guinea pig,
yes,
Kate McKinnon, stole the movie.
Yes,
she stole the movie. We saw in the special features, she said she was doing an imitation or version of Betty Davis, who your grandparents know. And if you've seen any of those movies with your grandparents, then you know who she is. If you haven't, I'm here to tell you, I've seen some of those old movies with Banana, and yes, she did a fantastic job. She stole the movie.
Yes.
I mean, she just took it away from Dwayne.
Kevin Hart.
She took it away from Kevin. She took it away from everybody. And the guinea pig was the most entertaining
part of the movie.
Right,
because all her dialogue was great.
You had the long, extended fight battle scene, and you had her performance.
Right. Best parts of the film. And, as I said, animation was spectacular the whole time. It didn't look lazy or cheap at all. There really didn't see any errors in it. I think maybe one shot, the guinea pigs didn't look fully animated at one point, but it was so quick you could miss it if you don't pay attention. But they did not slack on animation. They made sure it was really big, it was detailed, it was colorful. It felt like you were watching a superhero movie with how bright and popping it was.
Now, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below, but I think this is Dwayne Johnson's production company first movie release. And he had hired, it was a roster of his friends.
Yes, I said like Adam Sandler.
Yes. And you also saw that his ex-wife Danny was a part of this as well. So it was interesting to see what he chose as the first project. And I don't recall who did the script writing. The only thing I wish is that, of course, the characters had been more true to the graphic novel or the comics.
Right.
And they weren't. So maybe there's still an opportunity for someone else to do another movie that sticks to the book as it was written.
Right. Or,
and this is just an alternate version.
Right. Or do a sequel where you introduce, like, I don't know, because they didn't have Detective Chimp and Streaky and Kanga and all the pets you know. So if they want, they can introduce them in the next movie if they decide to keep this universe.
Have to be, this is an AU, and then the movie will be the real movie because it's so different from the comic. There's no way to introduce them later, especially with Kevin Hart's version of Bat Hound. You can't do that.
No, because this is more of a lighthearted take. And I guess they said, well, it's animals, we can do a lighthearted take. And the comics, to a point, to agree, were a little silly because it was the pets having their own little adventures, but you were taking their side missions seriously. Even when only one that could speak was Detective Chimp, and he was the one in charge and sending out the missions, and it was funny. But you took the mission seriously. Here, you kind of didn't until it got to where they all got captured by Lulu. That's pretty much when you start taking it seriously and saw, okay, now it's getting serious. And the superheroes who eventually become the owners were actually taking notice. And it's not clear if they can understand animals or not, but it wasn't like they were saving the world and the humans didn't know it. I did like that they were aware that the pets were actually coming to save them, so that was different.
Yes. Two things I want to say that were borrowed in this movie. Mm-hmm. One is the capturing of the superheroes. The way they were captured was from the second season of Young Justice.
Yes.
Remember when Red Arrow had to go in and help save them with the, what was the name of the group?
I think it was the Runaways.
Yes. That's all I thought about when I saw it. And the second thing is this was really a nod to the Superpets movie. The first one, not the second one, not the sequel, but the first one. It's like, what are the pets doing when the humans aren't around?
Yes.
This is what this movie really...
Yeah, I did have that vibe to it. I definitely agree. And for the voice actors, they weren't bad.
No.
Right, none of them were bad. It's just they made sure they they changed the characters to fit them. Like I'll just say an example like John Cho and Spike. They said, okay, we're going to change the character to match the voice actor instead of the other way around. So they kind of changed Ace so he'd be more like Kevin Hart, and they gave him some funny dialogue. And the only one I didn't like was the one they had for Lex Luthor, because clearly you were not supposed to take Lex Luthor seriously at all. You're supposed to take Lulu seriously way more than him, because he was just a goofball. He was like, "Ooh, I'm bad, and I'm gonna take over the world." And he has sort of an accent for some reason, and I don't know. I just didn't care for him as Luthor, and it's not just because I'm used to hearing Clancy Brown all the time, and that's Lex Luthor. Right. It's just the one they picked for here, and they picked all big name celebrities, which is DC's new thing. Comedians and celebrities are doing the superheroes that you know don't work, and to me, he just didn't work. It's like they were making fun of the character way more, because it's like, well, he's not going to be serious in here. And they had two other biggest ones was John Krasinski's Superman. Krasinski. And they had Keanu Reeves as Batman, which the whole joke is that Keanu Reeves is Batman and you're supposed to laugh. That is the entire joke. You know, Batman's rich and brooding and he's got trauma. It's funny, and that was kind of the running gag for Batman the entire film.
Now, one of the surprises at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, is when they do the outtake at the end of the movie, and there's a nod to Dwayne Johnson being Black Adam.
Yes, there's an extra credit scene like Marvel, yes. And we were kind of surprised to see that, because at the time we hadn't seen the Black Adam movie, but it seems like he wants to bring in his live action character into the animated world. So it looks like, as you said, it's going to be a Black Adam. According, there's going to be a Bizarro Krypto, and there's going to be a Black Adam dog that didn't really exist, but they made him up just so Krypto can have a doggy arch nemesis. So he's going to be big and brooding and bad, and they keep bringing up the fact that, oh, he's not a hero, he's an anti-hero. And he just does things by his own rules, then he's a villain. No, he's an anti-hero. So they kind of bring in the thing everyone keeps saying, Black Adam's not a hero, he's an anti-hero, he's a villain. They kind of bring that in so they're aware of the controversy of that.
So, what we say is it's worth giving a watch, and if you haven't seen it, you definitely should see it.
Yeah, it's fun still.
Yeah. It's streaming on what?
It should be on HBO Max, and it's available to buy or rent on DVD.
Right. So if you have seen this movie, let us know what you think in the comments below.
Yes.
Superpets.
Right.
No, it was League
of Superpets.
Yes, League of Superpets. Sorry. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you love it? hate it, let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It's definitely worth watching. And I would probably give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, because it wasn't bad.
Again, my biggest problem was it did not have anything to do with the comic book series or graphic novels we so love.
Right.
And again, that being said, the best part of the movies are the guinea pig.
Right.
And I think it's almost 10 minutes battle scene. If that is just superb. That's the best part of the movie. You get to see all the strengths of the animals. You get to see how they save the day. Mm-hmm. You get to see that, as Rascal said, the guinea pig was meant to be taken seriously. She wasn't playing. And it's like, if the whole movie had been like this, I would give it 5 stars.
Yes, definitely. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for your support and for subscribing. Our goal is to reach over 1,000 subscribers this year. So please share and let others know about our podcast. And if we are not subscribed to you, or we don't know of you, tell us the name of your channel in the comments below. Leave a link. We'll check it out and give you a subscribe or follow as well.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mask Entertainment.
And I'm On Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.